Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How is everyone doing this morning? As always, it's another day above ground. It's another day to get things right. It's another day for positivity. It's another day for light and another day for love. So, how is everyone this morning? Today is another sunshiny day. We can't ask for better than that. The wind might be blowing just a little bit with a little cool breeze, but hey, it's another day. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is so good to be here another day. Today is going to definitely be an interesting topic. We will be answering an advice letter, something different. So, yes, we are definitely going to be incorporating people's opinions today. It is definitely going to be a good day today. So, man, like, I'm just excited for another chance to just be here with you all and enjoy you all's company. And you all come on in and enjoy my company. Like, hey, I like kicking it with y'all in the morning. Gives me a little bit more energy. So today we're gonna do good morning, Yvette. How are you this morning? Good morning, good morning, good morning. So we are going to get into our deep breathing this morning. We are going to inhale and just breathe in, take a deep breath of fresh air, and we're going to exhale. And when we exhale, we are going to exhale all of the negative energy. We're going to exhale yesterday, and we are just going to breathe in just for today, just for this moment. And we're not going to worry about tomorrow because it's not here. Good morning, Bobby. Good morning. How are you this morning? So come on and inhale with me and inhale and take a deep breath if you will. Hold for 10 seconds if you can, and if you cannot, it's okay. Hold it for as long as you can, okay? All right, and inhale with me and hold for 10 seconds and exhale. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you just thanking you for yet another day. We thank you for your grace and your mercies that are renewed, dear Heavenly Father. We thank you for protecting us in our sleep, dear Heavenly Father. Thank you for just watching over our homes, our jobs, our children. We thank you, Lord, because we know that you didn't have to do it. We know that tomorrow is not promised, and we know that our next breath, Lord, is not promised. So we just thank you for the little things. We thank you for the breath in our body. We thank you for activity in our limbs. We thank you for waking us up with a sound mind this morning. We thank you for we thank you for the electricity that runs through our body that allows us to move, Heavenly Father. We thank you for the clothes on our back. We thank you for the food that is on our tables and in our pantries, Lord. We thank you for the shoes on our feet, dear Heavenly Father, because we know so many don't have. So we thank you. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you, dear Heavenly Father. So that we ask that you just continue to bless us in every endeavor. We ask that you continue to cover us in our comings and our goings, Lord. We just want to give thanks and ask these blessings in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Good morning, Bev. Good morning. How are you this morning? So today, okay, y'all, I got something interesting for y'all today. We got an advice letter. So, yes, we will be talking about a letter that was written to me. And they want our opinions, y'all. They want our opinions, girl. We here for it. We are here for it. Okay. So, the situation is this. And it was written by a man, just so you know. Which is quite interesting because men don't usually ask for help or ask for our opinions, especially women's opinions. But it was written. So the situation is he has a friend, an ex They were exes. Good morning, Jalen. Good morning. So they were exes, okay? And in that, she married someone else, okay? And in that, discovered at some point during this marriage that she didn't really love this man, or that she really wasn't, it was a regret for her, and that she was started to text her ex, which they were still friends. But the fact that she's still married and was texting things like, I love you, I miss you, and telling him about how she didn't love this man and how it was a regret. And good morning, Alma. And so, here comes the twist of it, though. In the midst of these conversations and things going on, sadly, she passes away. And the husband finds the phone with the text messages. And when the husband finds the phone with the text messages, he calls the ex and tells the ex that he wants to meet him so that he can fight him. And that's when the husband informs the ex that the friend has died. And they wanted our opinion on the situation. Good morning, India. How are you this morning? So, yes, I'm gonna need opinions. I'm gonna need thoughts, because honey, when I read it, I was just like, oh, clutch my pearls, because it's so many dynamics to this. Like, yes, I'm gonna need opinions. I'm gonna need comments. I'm gonna need suggestions, because honey, like, it's so many things in that can be construed. One, wrong. Okay. Two, crazy. I just like So I think that the fact that she was married, and texting things like, I love you and I want to be with you, I think was the first thing that was an issue or a problem. And like when we talked about relationships, when you're in a committed relationship like a marriage, you have to talk to the person that you're with. And if you did, Bobby says it's unfortunate that she passed away. However, the husband shouldn't fight the other man. She shouldn't have done that. Absolutely. I feel like there was so many things wrong with this entire situation. She should have talked to the man in which she was married to express her unhappiness, or the fact that she was not content in that relationship, and if you are that unhappy that you feel the need to reach back to an ex, like, before you start something new, you need to end what you got going on. Because when you don't end what you got going on before you trying to start sliding off into other things or doing other things, it creates so many problems. And it's like, now the fact that she's gone, the husband's not going to get answers. He's left with anger at the fact that, that she's gone. But if you really love a person, like, that could break you, to know that you love the person that you're married only to find out that they didn't love you, or that they wanted somebody else. Like, it's so unfortunate, like, the whole situation, because now there's unanswered questions that can't be answered. There are, it goes back to building that foundation. It goes back to building that foundation of friendship that we talked about. When you're not friends and you can't talk to each other, it's like, what's the point of getting married or even being in a relationship with somebody? You got to be able to have that communication, because if I'm not feeling you no more, and we've signed those papers, and I got papers on you and you got papers on me, and we got that connection going, like, we got to have some sort of communication to say, okay, let's try this. Let's try this, because I'm not happy. What are you feeling? And go from there. Like, try counseling. And if counseling don't work, okay, say you tried everything you could. But to just become unhappy or uncontent and then, or discontent, and then to just decide you just want to go in another direction without talking to the person that you're in a relationship with. Like, that's unfair to both sides. That's unfair. And the fact that she's now gone, he can't ask her, like, what was it that was making you unhappy? Like, what is it? Like, it's so many levels to it, to this situation, because now in his anger he wants to fight this man, but he's not realizing that everything that was texting from his end is a response to what she was saying. So now his anger is not at her, his anger is at the person who's still here. But you can't really be mad at the other person when it's your partner that participated in this. It's almost like a double-edged sword. Like, yeah, both people were wrong. Both people were absolutely wrong. But only one of those people was in the relationship. Only one. So it's like, it's like now in the aftermath of everything, it's like, how do you navigate through that? It's crazy. Like, how do you navigate? Good morning, Karen. Good morning. How are you? So yeah, like, this was definitely like a woo. Absolutely, Yvette. Yvette says it took two. Absolutely, it took two. Like, you can't, when two people are in a relationship, point blank, period. If the person you're in a relationship with is stepping outside or doing something, then you need to take a look at the person you're in a relationship with and have a conversation with the person that you're in a relationship with. A lot of times we see that when men step out in relationships, women are so ready to fight that other woman and jump down her throat or damage her property, but they're not as angry as the man that they're in a relationship with. Like, why is that? Like, this is who you're in a relationship with. This is your partner. Like, there should be some conversation going on right here. And that anger should be directed at the person that you've made a commitment to, like, or made a commitment to you to honor that. Bobby says, I think that he should ignore the messages from the husband. The real issue is with the wife, and sadly, she's gone. This is not the ex's fault unless he knew that she was married. That's a whole different thing. He knew that she was married. And so in his responses were not of, I want you to, or I love you to. His responses were, talk to your husband, or, well, why is it you feel this way? They were more so, from his standpoint, he was acting more so as a friend, not of a, well, I want you back too, and come on, forget him. It was in the range of a friendship. That was it. But all of her messages were, I want you, I don't love him, I don't want to be with him. So I think that, and that's where it becomes tricky. It kind of becomes tricky because when you're friends with your ex and you're in a new relationship or you're married, sometimes your spouse or your other partner can feel some type of way about you being friends with someone that you've been in a relationship with. Even if you all are good friends, sometimes that can cause problems in relationships. Even if you're having issues in your new relationship, and because you and your ex are such good friends, or because you had that foundation of friendship and you realize, like, we're just better off being friends, that sometimes that can cause problems in your new relationship. And I think that, and that's why I say that was wrong on a lot of different levels to this, and the fact that the husband wants to fight him is absolutely crazy. It's like, for what? What are you fighting for? Because the person that you were in a relationship with, that you made the commitment with, is the one who initiated and continued these messages and is now gone. So the person that your anger should be directed at is not there anymore. So it's almost like I say, it's a double-edged sword, wrong on so many levels. And it just, I don't know. I had to wrap my head around it first. I had to read it a couple times. So I was like, wait, maybe I read it wrong. Maybe I read it wrong. But no, like, it's something that is common. Unfortunately, this is not a uncommon situation, where people get into a marriage and realize, like, okay, this ain't the person I thought I was marrying, or this ain't the person that I wanted, And when we talked about relationships, we talked about those key foundations, and not having those key foundations, people find themselves in situations like this. You've got to have that trust. You've got to have communication. You've got to have respect. You must honor one another. And if you find that those key elements are still not working for you, then maybe you need to decide that either you're going to go to counseling or you're just going to be better off as friends. You cannot just maneuver in ways in which not only are you breaking up a home, but you're causing all kind of emotions, and not everybody's in touch with their emotions. We talked about that too. Not everybody's in touch with their emotions. A lot of times it's men. And the only emotion that sometimes some of them can display is anger. Bobby says, oh, okay, there was a big problem in their relationship. And unfortunately, the husband will not find out what the problem was. It was good the ex was trying to be a friend. He should ignore the messages. The husband needs to take his aggression out on something else, exercise, writing, anything else. And that's kind of what my opinion was. It was like, you're mad at the wrong person. So even in trying to be there as her friend, although her messages were inappropriate as a married woman, you cannot fault someone for being a friend. And so you have to, good
Good
morning.
morning, everybody. I can't stay. I gotta get off of here, but I just wanted to stop in and say good morning, everybody. How you guys doing? Hey, Bobby. Hey, Yvette. Hey, Karen. Linda. I see you guys. Alma, Kat, and Jalen. Man, Q. Hey, man, QN. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Yes, indeed. Something missing in the home that draws you to someone else, period. Doesn't mean they really want to leave the home. Okay, I'm gone. I got to get back to training. I don't know where y'all at, but I'm going to leave it in y'all hands. See y'all later. Bye-bye.
Yvette says it's something missing in the home that draws you to someone else, period. Doesn't mean they really want to leave the home, just need that little area filled. You cannot break a home that is already broken. Absolutely, Yvette. If you find, and that's why when we talked about relationships and building, and building relationships, you absolutely, if you find that something is missing, rather than go out and find it, you need to go ahead and just, you need to go ahead and talk to your partner and say, hey, look, I need you to be a little bit more romantic because that's what I'm missing right now. I'm a very romantic person and I'm missing that from you. You need to talk to your partner about what it is that you're missing. Because when you don't talk to your partner about what you're missing, sometimes it can be just that little thing. It'd be nice sometimes to come home, to cook dinner with candles. If you don't tell a person what they're missing or what it is that you need, you will never know if they can give it to you. You've got to give them that opportunity to be able to give you whatever it is that you feel you're missing in that relationship. If you feel it's communication and they need to talk to you a little bit more, and if they don't know how to, then counseling. Good morning, Special Brew. Good morning. It definitely, you definitely have to talk. You have to have that communication. And without that, it's not going to work no matter what. Because sometimes it could just be a simple thing of, honey, I like flowers. It would be nice if every once in a while you sent me flowers or I came home to flowers. But you've got to open your mouth and say what it is that you need and what it is that you're missing rather than go find it somewhere else. Because it goes back to that good old fashioned 80-20 rule. If you got 80% at home, why go looking for that 20%? Because the grass is not always greener on the other side, let me tell you. Because sometimes, honey, it is sod. That pretty grass might be sod, honey. Okay, I'm trying to tell you, it is not always better on the other side of that fence, especially when you're getting 80% of what you need from someone. And by simply communicating, you could probably get that other 20. rather than go out and look for that 20, and now the 80 that you have at home, or the situation you have at home that was working for you, is now gone because of a simple mistake that you've made of looking for something somewhere else. So absolutely, Yvette, you can't break a home that's already broken. And why is it broken? That's another question. You have to look at why it's broken. You have to take into consideration, if you're missing something, maybe the other person that you're with is missing something too. What is it that you're not giving? You have to take that into consideration too, because sometimes we have to look in the mirror as well ourselves and realize that there may be something that our partner needs that we're not giving, or that we're not capable of giving, or that we don't even know we need to give. So communication works both ways. It absolutely works both ways. You cannot get to a point where you just say, okay, not getting it, throw your hands up, ready to walk out the door. Then that means you haven't built those foundations for your relationship. Because sometimes it's not worth walking away from what you've built as a couple, or what you've built in that relationship, for one little thing. For one little thing. And communication sometimes can change that. Sometimes counseling when you need a third neutral party. Sometimes if you don't feel comfortable enough to see a counselor, sometimes you can have that. There's pastors, you can go to your pastor sometimes for spiritual counseling, or just for guidance, or if you have a good friend, sometimes that can be that neutral party. But it starts with communication, and it starts with trust. That's what it starts with at the end of the day. So you have to make sure that when you're building, or even when you're starting relationships, set your ground rules. Set your ground rules for stuff you won't tolerate, stuff that you just absolutely will not deal with. Set your boundaries for the things that you need. By doing that, it can circumvent and avoid situations like this. It avoids the stepping out of, or instead of coming to you as a partner, going to someone else. Start that in the beginning. Hun, if there's something wrong, let me know. If there's something I'm doing that bothers you, let me know, or I'll let you know. But you've got to have that open door. You've got to have it, because there's no way in the world that you can lay down next to somebody every single night, not like them, not want to be around them, be angry all the time, and they not notice. And they not notice. Yvette says in his case, it was pride over matter. He knew what was wrong. He just failed to comply with her needs. Sometimes they do communicate, but that little area still goes untouched, but the stability is still there. That is only a relationship of convenience. Yeah. You got to keep a woman feeling like a queen and keep her sexy. Trust and communication is key. Absolutely. Everybody wants to feel wanted. That is the main thing, one of the main things in a relationship. Why would you want to be with somebody that doesn't make you feel like you want to? Let me tell you something, okay? Because when I walk in the room, I'm going to need you looking at me like, hey, babe, how you doing? I'm going to need all eyes on me. Like, I want to feel wanted, because, honey, when you walk in that room, that smile should hit my face like, yes, honey, the king has arrived. Yes. Like, you want that. A lot of times men feel they need to be needed. And sometimes I know that for me, that's one of my issues in my areas. Like, I have a hard time being needy. like, like I have a hard time, and it's not so, I won't say needy, but being a single mom for so long that it's hard for me to ask for help. Like, if something breaks in the house, like a cabinet, I'm going to fix it without asking for help. Something happens with the toilet, I'm probably going to fix it without asking for help. Like, that's just kind of how sometimes we have conditioned ourselves to not need anyone, because we've been let down so many times, or because we've been in situations where, where someone's like, well, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do this for you, I'm gonna do that, or I'm gonna come over and do that, or and you wait and you wait and you wait and you wait, and it never gets done. Or there, I'm gonna help you means in their time I'm gonna help you. So for me, it's like, okay, look, cabinet door broke. Let me get that screwdriver. Hand me that Phillips or give me that flathead so I can get this screw done, so I can tighten up this cabinet. Like I don't have. I have to learn the patience for when I need help, because I'm just, and a lot of times that's a turnoff for men because they feel like, oh, you this strong black woman, you don't need nobody. And it's not that I don't necessarily need anybody, but sometimes I just want somebody, and a lot of times that is an issue in relationships, when we as women can be so strong that we are doing everything and don't allow room for that man to be a man. Sometimes we have to change our thinking and recondition ourselves to look at what is it that we're doing or what is it that we're not doing in a relationship. And once we take that self-examination, have that conversation, because you can't point fingers and be like, well, you, and you did this and you did that and you. And then when they're like, well, you didn't do this. And it could be something so simple, like how we like to be noticed when we get new haircuts, or how we like for our man to notice when we get a nail change color, or, it's the little things that we like to be noticed. Sometimes they like to be noticed too. Babe, I see them new shoes you got on. Okay. I see, oh, when you got your haircut today. Okay, looking good. We've got to do it both ways. We've got to compliment each other both ways. And sometimes we have to work on just being mindful of the other person in the relationship. We have to be mindful of that, So it can absolutely make a difference, when you don't have communication. Hey Joe, good morning. And yes, my fan. Don't do my fan, Joe. Don't do it. Like, it definitely makes a difference when you don't have that communication, because you want to make sure that in everything that you're doing, you're mindful of not just yourself, the other person, but the relationship that you're in. If sending that text message, if you know that your significant other, your spouse, your partner, your mate is gonna be upset with that text message, don't send it. Why send it and cause an issue? Rather than have to send it, then delete it, then for what? It's not worth it. It's absolutely not worth it. So I think that in this particular situation with the friend, the wife, and the husband, and the wife being gone, I think that affects the relationship even more so, for the husband, rather, not the relationship, but the situation, rather, for the husband, because now it's almost like he has to take stock and look at what he was doing, what he wasn't doing, and he don't have nobody to compare it to or talk to about it. So at this point, he absolutely needs to see a counselor, because that right there, yeah, I don't know how I would respond to that situation, being in it, because that's a lot to take in. You're not only taking in the fact that your spouse has now passed away, but you're taking into consideration of, you're looking at texts that a spouse has passed away, and knowing that they were either on the verge of being unfaithful or just trying to leave you altogether. Like, like, how does that work? Joe says, why send a text when you can just say it? If you're not grown enough to say it in person, that is part of the problem. Okay, okay. But even in saying things in person, Joe, sometimes we have to be mindful of what we say, especially when we're in relationships or when we're in marriages. You have to be careful of what you say too. Like, it's not just the text messages. You have to be careful in what you say, because certain things shouldn't be coming out your mouth when you in just a relationship, period. Whether it's an engagement, dating, married, there are just some things that should not come out of your mouth. Like, it's just not. It's inappropriate. Because if you're thinking or feeling a certain way enough to say something to somebody else, to fix your lips to say, I want you, and you in a relationship with somebody else, you need to take stock. Like, you need to do some self evaluation, because you need to get things right or end things in a relationship that you're in before you decide you want to fix your lips or write a text message to somebody else to say, I want you. Like, because that means there's something wrong in the relationship that you're in, or that you have not built whatever foundation you need to build with that other person, or either that relationship has run its course. But either way, you should never start something new while you still have something else going on. That's not fair to either person, the new person or the person you with now. That's not fair. So, as adults, we need to hold ourselves accountable for the things we do and the things we say. And a lot of times we cannot blame anybody else. True. Joe says true. But communication is key, because it's how you say it. A text can be misconstrued. That too. A text can absolutely be misconstrued, because you can say something in a text message, whereas someone can take it as you saying something with an attitude. That's absolutely. I've had that happen a couple times where I may be just simply saying something, and they'll call like, I don't know why you got this attitude. And I'm like, well, where did that come from? And then it dawns on me like, oh, they read my text message wrong. Okay, let me explain it. So I do get it. Sometimes you do have to explain text messages because they can come off the wrong way. So I absolutely do get that. So it is a situation where Yvette says, well, you shouldn't have to ask a man in the house to do things. He should know his place as a man. You can buy the world to pacify her or him, but the inner feeling is screaming something else that money can't buy. Absolutely true. That is so true, Yvette. You know, I was always taught growing up that a man is the head of the household. Personally, if I have a man or a husband in the house, I don't feel like I should be touching trash. I don't touch trash now. My boys take out my garbage, because that's something I'm teaching my boys and teaching my sons. As men of the house, it is your responsibility to take out garbage and things like that. There's just certain things that men should do that we shouldn't have to ask them. You are absolutely right. Like, it's, and a lot of times, because our young men are not taught how to treat women. And because a lot of times they don't have a dad in the house, they don't know what role or responsibility it is to be a husband, to be a father, or to be a man of the house. So you have to, and it's unfortunate that as women, that sometimes we have to almost set boundaries and almost reteach or teach the things that they didn't learn about what it is to be the head of the household, to be the man of the household. Man Q says, how about being honest with your own truths? Be honest about what you want out of a relationship. Absolutely. Well, come on in this morning, Joan. Come on in this morning, honey. Yes.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Bree.
Good morning. Yes.
Does it sound good?
Yes, it is. Yes, it
Okay,
is.
so
Yes, it is. Let's
I
see. Man,
miss everybody.
I'm sure they miss you too, honey. Man Q says part of the
Okay.
let's see. Part of the problem, women feel they can do it all. They want to be the man. Good morning, Kimberly. Joe says you can't take the trash out, but you can retile the floor, fix the cabinet, and change the oil. Man Q says I've always felt like women can't have it all. Something or someone will be sacrificed. That's true. Joe, for you, no, it's not necessarily that I can't take out trash. I don't want to take out trash. And when it comes
Okay.
to tiling the floor, fixing the cabinet, or changing the oil, those are things that, see, that's my brother. So he's trying to be funny. That's our brother. he's trying to be funny this morning because he knows that those are things that I do. And it's done out of necessity. It's absolutely not done because I want to, but it's done because I am a single woman. So those are things that I do. If I need a cabinet fixed, I fix it. If my floor needs to be retiled, I do that. Like I research and look up stuff. You
Mhm.
know, Man Q says it may not be the intent, but it's usually what happens. Absolutely. Kimberly says she's at work but wanted to sneak in and say hello. Hi, Kim.
Hey, Kimberly. Hey, Karen Dixon Livingston.
Bobby says good morning, Joan.
Good morning, Bobby Norman Cubbage.
Man Q says women are quick to tell a man to be a man. So, Joan, what do you think about? Okay, so the situation is
Bring me up to speed.
okay, girl. Let me let me bring you up, girl. Let me bring
Oh,
you.
where's my fan? Oh, yeah, I got my fan.
So let me bring you up to speed, girl. So today we're talking about it was an advice letter that was sent to me. And it was a guy. So he has this friend who was an ex of his, and she was sending him text messages saying, you know, she didn't love her husband, she regretted marrying him, and that she loved him and wanted to be with him. And he was staying in the role and the boundary of a friendship. Like, well, what's wrong? You know, well, why don't you? You know, what are your regrets? And so the woman passed away, the friend passed away, and the husband found the phone and he found all the text messages between her and the ex. So he took it upon himself in reading the messages between the two. He took it upon himself to call the ex and tell him he wants to meet him and wants to fight him based off the text messages he saw. And the friend was just like, what are you talking about? And that's when the husband let the friend know that she had passed away. Didn't even because it was like a few days in between. So we're talking about how like there's so many levels to things that were wrong in that situation, and the fact that the husband wants to fight him and she's gone is like his anger is misdirected. It's
Yeah,
misdirected because it
yeah.
was he was even though he was an ex, he was still operating in the boundaries of friendship of not saying things want you to or go ahead and leave him. He was asking questions like, well, what's wrong? You know, why is that? So it's like now the husband is angry. One, the wife has died. And two, not only has she died, but now you find out that she didn't want to be with you no more. Like she wanted somebody else. So it's like,
Mhm.
you know,
Y'all want my opinion?
yes, honey, give it. Give it. Give it, honey. Come on now.
It's simple. He need grief counseling.
Yeah,
Period. He need grief counseling, and like you said, his anger is misdirected. He is angry because of something that has all that happened, and he didn't know about it before he was able to tell his wife off before she passed away. So he is like exploding inside. So he needs grief counseling. And if he goes to church, if he has a best friend or best friends, he need to talk to them so they can tell him, you need to see counseling, buddy, because going over here, you know, dealing with this guy that he really has no people have to understand that they cannot control another human being's feelings.
no, they cannot.
You know, there's always going to be, you know, not equally yoked, so to speak. There's
Yeah,
it's always going to be like that. One person is going to have different feelings than what you have. Having the same feelings for somebody is a rarity. But as far as he is concerned, his anger is misplaced, and he needs grief counseling to help him get through that. Seriously. And
absolutely.
I don't have any more to elaborate on that, but that's what it is.
It
I
really
don't know. And oh boy, you know, he just need to probably have him a pistol or something to say, hey, look, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm sorry the wife has died. She was a friend of mine. But look, hey, you can't bring me this.
yeah.
So he need to wave his Glock or something around like, no, buddy.
But you know
Bye.
what? I absolutely agree because, and that's what we were talking about. He's going to need counseling because the only way he's going to get through this is counseling. Because there's no
Absolutely.
way in the world that you're that angry, and you're not even angry at the right person. Like you're
Right.
absolutely. Because here's the thing. You know, we talked about a little bit earlier is the 80-20 rule. You're gonna
Oh,
get
okay.
about 80% of what you need out of one person. You know,
Maybe.
and with
Hmm.
communication and a little time, you might get that other 20. But
Right.
when you leave to go get that other 20, the one thing you're missing, and now you've messed up everything you got at home, it's like now you're upset because you left a good thing that you had at home for some little thing that you're missing. And that's why I say the grass is not always greener on the other side. Because sometimes you
Right.
jump that fence and it might be mud, it might be sod. Because I promise you that sparkly grass that never gets brown, I promise you, is sod.
Hmm.
I promise.
And that's why people, when they are in a, when they're in a relationship and they're thinking about leaving or going to leave or whatever, be honest with yourself and know that you're going to be all right by yourself. That you can be all right by yourself, and make sure that if you leave, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
That all the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted, and you don't have anything else to say to that person. You don't have any more questions to ask of that person that you're leaving. If you're going to
Yep.
leave, you're done.
Yep.
All is good. You wash your hands or whatever, but don't ever leave somebody
Mm-hmm.
reaching for something else to replace that somebody with. You replace that
Come on
relationship
now.
with, replace it with you, who you are striving to be, and be okay with you, and be okay alone.
You
Like
better
I always say,
you
I
better
love
say
my
it.
own company. I
You,
love my own
you
company.
better say it. Because if you don't
Cause
love your own company, who the hell else gonna love it?
right, because I'll park my car in the garage, doggone it, and pretend I'm not home. You don't call. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay by myself.
I know
And in
that's
the wintertime, I can stay in the house, the whole winter. But a lot of people are like that.
yeah,
Enjoy their own company.
yeah,
They don't easily get bored, and they need somebody. And we all have those friends, families, acquaintances or whatever that cannot stand to be alone. They
mm-hmm,
have to have somebody in the house. They
mm-hmm,
have to have some kind of piece of relationship.
yeah,
They it's like they are in fear of themselves.
yeah,
What you scared of? You scared of you?
yeah.
What you scared of. Why are you? That's a question that people can ask themselves. Why am I afraid? Why do I have to have somebody under me all the time?
I know I don't like people under me.
I know that's right. Look, I'm a leave me alone kind of person. Look, I don't want to be bothered. I love you dearly, but go on down the road about your business. I want to be alone.
Right. Man,
But
Q says that's so immature, but also anger because he got unanswered questions that will never be answered. Bobby
right,
said, "True, that's true." Man, Q says the husband must have had an idea that the marriage wasn't 100%.
right.
Exactly, counseling may help him figure out his feelings. However, what he is going through, let me see, however, what he's going through is normal. It's all part of grieving. Yvette says, no disrespect. I've dated just about all kinds of women. May they have been married or single and still friends with all of them because it ain't what you do, is how you do it. A woman cannot be super self centered either. A real woman admits when she is wrong as well. You don't place blame on everyone but you. It's the small things that women like, but you have to know how to capture the heart. Joe says he doesn't need grief counseling. He needs to man up and realize he wasn't doing what he was supposed to do to keep his woman happy. Sharice, good morning, Sharice. Sharice says excellent.
Was that your brother Joe?
Yes, girl. You know he be trying to get me. He be
Yeah,
trying.
he trying to get you.
My,
Okay.
that's my twin. He be trying me. He says both the husband and wife the past were in the wrong. Man Q says, my grandma used to say the grass may be greener on the other side, but you have no idea how to maintain it to keep it so green. It's green because it takes time, water, nature to maintain it and edge it.
Mhm.
She said, man, Q says, exactly, John. I'm the same way. I love my own company.
Mhm.
Yvette says, it's not the fact that we want to be men, but after some men have broken that woman's heart because you didn't appreciate what you had, that is why they come to us. We know how to love and care. Man Q says, some people are just afraid to be by themselves. They need validation. Absolutely. It's like, and that's what I be trying to tell my brother, because I've been in relationships where they're like, well, you don't need nobody. You do everything yourself and you act like you don't need no man and you don't need nobody. I said, it's not about that. It's not about that. It's because I have been let down and disappointed so many times that rather than wait on somebody to play Captain Save Me, I'm
Mhm.
going to save myself. I'm just not, I don't have the patience to wait on somebody that wants to toy around with my time and feel that you want to help me when you want to help me,
Mhm.
not in the moment that I need help. So it's not that I'm trying to be a man. It's just that sometimes when I need things done, I need them done like right then and there. Like my sink
And
is
that's
clogged,
all.
I need it done.
I'm, I'm sorry for interrupting, but that's all in, especially I'm speaking on a woman's point of view because that's what I am, that's what I know. But it's all in going through chapters of becoming a mature woman. You go through those things. You go through, your 30s, you're doing one thing and you're excited about certain things in your 30s. In your 40s, you still bring some of that 30s experience with you, and hopefully you'll drop the bad stuff and bring the good stuff along with you in your 40s.
Absolutely.
And in your 50s it's different, and in your 60s it's different. I'm in the middle of my 60s now, and I have not felt more comfortable in
Okay.
my own skin and all of those chapters in my life. And now I'm ready to close all those chapters and open up a new book.
Yeah.
That book is done. That volume is done. I'm in the process of opening up a whole new book, chapter one, my 60s. And
Yeah.
God willing, I'll flourish and, go on to write other
Come
books
on
in my
now.
life.
Come
Oh,
on now.
yes.
Write
And
that
you have
down.
to own all of that
You
because
do.
it's you. You make the decisions in your life. You can never blame others
No, you
for
can't.
decisions that you make because you can always say, no, I don't want that. And
True.
you know what? If they love you, if they respect you, they're going to continue to do so,
Yeah.
even if you don't give in to what they want.
Yeah.
So you can quickly, you can get a smart mouth like Joan and say, you better find yourself some business and stay out of mine. Or you can say, I wish you well
Yeah.
on your journey, but
Yeah.
this journey is mine.
Right.
And so us women, that's what we do. You're at a certain age, you're going to go through this. I can fix it. I can fix it. I don't have time to try to raise somebody else's son. I don't have time to raise somebody else's daughter. Whatever the case may be, I need to get this done because I am responsible for me
Right.
and those that are younger that I'm responsible for.
Yeah.
And then you get that accomplished, you get your skills all honed in, and
Yeah.
then you're on to the next chapter of your life. And it's a natural process. It just goes like that.
Let's see. Yvette says, if you can't live alone, you can't live. No one is promised. And you must give yourself time to heal from that relationship you were in. Joe says, men get heartbroken too, and it changes how we deal with women. Women fail to
Mhm.
realize women can break men too. Absolutely.
Yes,
Like that
it's
is
a
so
human
true.
experience.
It really is because I think a lot of times when we see men, sometimes they'll be like, unfortunately, because they've been hurt so many times. "Well, I'm not dating another black woman. I'm not, I'm just not going to do it." But it's because, it's not because But here's the thing, it's not because they have hatred for black women or that they don't like black women. It's that they've been hurt so many times by black women. Like they've been hurt, heartbroken, stomped on, because unfortunately, a lot of times we say we want a good man, and then we get that man that's in touch with his feelings. He cook, he clean, he pampers, he buys gifts, he do all of that. But then at the end of the day, it ain't good enough because you still want that thug that's gonna kick your behind, walk in with them Timbs, no job, sitting on the couch playing PlayStation, walking around with that same white beater on all week. Tell some he
And
loves
that's all. And that situation,
me.
once,
Like,
and you would realize that situation is that's all about you.
right,
That's not about that good man over there. It is not about that thug over there. That's
right.
all about you.
Like if
It's
that's
what
your
you want.
preference, say
Right.
that. My thing is, if you know for yourself that you are not a romantic person, don't
Mm-hmm.
be with somebody who's super romantic and wants that romance back. Be
Or
honest up front and be like, look, let me tell you something. That romance thing, that ain't me. I'm not cooking no dinner with candles. I'm not doing no picnic in the park. I don't like that kind of stuff. Be
Mhm.
honest with the person that you dating and stop pretending to be something that you're not, just so
Right.
that you can get that person. So
Mm-hmm.
then, because now you've pretended to be this person is expecting you to deliver on the things that you said you wanted, the things you said you could
Yep.
do, and
Yep.
and then when they don't get it, it's like, what's wrong with you? Dude, you ain't romantic at all. Like you lied. Like be honest upfront about what you want, about who you are. Like if you are not that sappy hold hands person,
Mm-hmm.
if you ain't that kiss you every time I see you person, please let me know so I know to walk in the other direction. Because I am a touchy feely, romantic, compassionate person that when I
Mm-hmm.
see you, I want them kisses. I'm gonna need them hugs before we walk out this door. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but if you ain't that person, please tell me. Don't pretend that you are just so that you can be with me. And then I am missing out on the things that I need. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what we have to get away from,
Right.
men and women, because we do
Mm-hmm.
it a lot as women because we realize, oh, girl, he is a catch. You're ready to
Mm-hmm.
don't let that one go, and it might not be something that you into. Like if you know his music drives you crazy because you don't like that particular type of music, you need to
Mm-hmm.
replace that, because if that's who they are, that's not gonna change. If they
Mm-hmm.
play rock music 24/7 and you can't stand rock music, that relationship ain't gonna work. Hey, you gonna wake up to rock music and go to
Mm-hmm.
bed to rock music. But
Mm-hmm.
you gotta say that, and we've got to be more honest with our opinions. We're more honest with our feelings, more honest with our expectations, more honest about what we will and will not accept, our limitations, our boundaries. We have
Mm-hmm.
got to be more honest. And like you say, and I'm 41 now, and I've gotten to the point where there are just some things I'm not going to compromise on. I'm just not. I know what it is I want. I know what it is that I offer. And if you can't match what it is that I offer, or if there's something about who I am that annoys you or irritates you, then let's not even try and go down this road of being in a relationship, because it's not going to work. For what? That's a waste of my time and a waste of yours. But
Yeah.
you have to know your boundaries. And now that I am 41, I know what boundaries I'm not budging on. Before it
Mm-hmm.
was like, okay, I might
Mm-hmm.
give and take a little room to now.
Mm-hmm.
Cut right
Yeah.
down. I know what it is. And if you don't like it, guess what? And if you don't meet them expectations or
Mm-hmm.
you don't meet that criteria, then guess what, honey? You are more than welcome to fall into that friends category and stay there. If
Yeah.
not, I wish you well on your journey. Nothing but blessings to you. And guess what? Have a nice day.
Have a nice day. But you know
Have a
what?
nice one.
There's a particular type of woman that I wouldn't even say that's a type of woman, but a women that have been given the name of gold digger.
You better
Now, a man, gold diggers, we all know that we have our own definition of gold diggers. She want that money. That's all she want. You get what you want, and you give me the money. Now, see, that woman, that kind of woman with that type of thinking is to be respected, because
you know what she wants.
the men or women that she attracts to her and that she is attracted to, that's all the exchange that they want.
Upfront about it.
They want that man wants somebody, pretty on their
Companionship.
arm, and
They're
she
called
want his money.
they're
and,
called
and,
sugar
and they
babies.
want what, right, right. And so you know what, that she gonna get along with whoever, that's what he giving up money, that's what she wants, that's a fair exchange
Right.
for the gold digger. And some women who are not looking for money, they're looking for love, they're looking for
Right.
stability, they're looking for the traditional normal
Yeah.
things from a relationship. Those women have to work harder. Those women have to go through more emotional
Work.
turmoil.
Yep. They're
And
gonna
it's all because you don't know yourself. You ask yourself, what do you want and what is important to you? And if you want to be in a relationship with another human being, then you know that those are the vibes and those are the sentiments that you're going to project to that human being. If you have a look on your face or your conversation say, look, if you ain't got no money, you can't talk to me. Hello? Then he know if he ain't got no money, he can't talk to her.
Goodbye.
She, the woman or the man, what they control who's in their lives. If they're not looking for marriage, or maybe they are looking for marriage, but that marriage has to have certain criteria. If he don't meet it or she don't meet it, then they need to move on down the road. Don't waste any more time
Yeah.
on the relationship, pussyfooting around like, well, do you like me, or do you want this, or can I cook, or can you cook, and all that. That's wasting time. Know who you are before you even go into a relationship. Know what you're going to accept, what you're not going to accept. Know who you're looking for, and take your time to get to know them. You'll never ever know anyone fully.
Come on now.
I don't care if you're together 60, 70, 80 years, you'll never ever know all that person's secrets, and they'll never know yours. But you have a mutual respect for each other first as human beings, and you have a care for each other.
Yes.
So it's always going to be some compromise, and it's always going to be some days you want to kill each other, but you make a decision.
Mm-hmm.
Know yourself. Know what you're going to take, what you're not going to take, what you're going to give, and what you're not going to give
Yeah.
before you waste your time. Your time is what's important.
It is.
Your time. And
Yeah.
if you're good and you're happy, then everybody around you that want to be around you will be happy too.
Yeah.
Because if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy.
I'm just
Hello?
cause honey,
That's a true saying. You know that if mama ain't happy, the whole household
if
is
the
in trouble.
queen ain't happy, honey. Yes, if the queen ain't happy, nobody in the royal court is happy. Okay,
Mm,
nobody.
really?
Nobody.
Better get it right. Because if the queen bee is all right, then hey, ain't nobody got to
Hey,
walk on no
it's
eggshells,
a
baby.
good
Just
day.
walk on through.
It's a good
Everything is good in
day.
life. But if the queen is unhappy, everybody gonna be unhappy until it gets straight around the house,
Yes.
or around the office, around the, look, around the church.
Baby,
You say first lady is unhappy. Oh no,
baby.
the usher board got to get it together.
Not the other board. Not the other board. Yeah. Let's
Yeah,
say
usher board
Yvette
got to
says
get
it's a process for peace from a relationship.
hey, special brew.
And Yvette says she told you enjoying your peace of mind.
Oh
Man,
yeah.
Q says, I love my peace of mind. It's
Oh
priceless.
yeah.
And God
Oh
has
yeah.
given me one that gives that to me. It's more love and joy that I didn't know I could exist in one person. He's not perfect, and Lord knows neither am I. We have learned to accept the greatness we bring to each other, but to accept our differences and give room for growing. Absolutely. Yvette says, that's right. You got to give someone else all that loving and that appreciates. I agree. She says she agrees with me. Mankey says romance comes in many different levels. It's not the old cliches. I will never put what I can do or what I'm willing to do. There's a mystery to each of us. Use it to your advantage. Yvette says, let's see, okay, coming in. It's more to love than making it for certain. Man Q says, I had to learn to make a list. Showed it to him and he laughed. I asked him for his list, and what do you know? Compromise. He told me he wasn't looking for his mother. Learned that really quickly. I don't want gold. I want a diamond in the rough. Joe says it's sugar mamas too. Sugar mamas are popular around tax season or when the new Xbox or PS5 or iPhone 13.
I can't wait to meet Joe.
Baby, you know I'm going to have my twin on here, honey. Because, honey, that dialogue between me and him will have you rolling all day, baby. Nina says scallywagging. Man, Q says exactly, Joe. Bobby says you have to know who you are and what you want. If you don't know those two things, it's doomed from the word go. Neela says time, effort, heart, emotions protect your wealth. Man and Beverly says, amen. Yvette says, if you push me away, don't get mad at me because someone else love the way I love. Shit. Good morning, Biz Network. Biz says how they used to say, no money, no honey. Not the old school player.
That's old school. That's old school.
You know, and it's to the point, it's like, I always tell folks, if you can't cook, don't be looking for no Southern man, okay? Because Southern men are cornbread fed and they like to eat and they like women with meat on their bones that can cook them neck bones, greens, macaroni. They don't want no woman that got to come home to them like, baby, you want KFC or you want Popeyes tonight? Like, no, like, don't get a man that wants a woman who can cook and you can't even boil water for rice. Like, don't.
I got something. I got something for you. In the words of the late great Johnny Taylor, you can't find gold in a silver mine.
Come
So
on now. Come
now
on
I know
now.
you know what that you cannot
On that one.
can't
Yeah.
find gold in a silver mine, and that's for
Girl,
sure.
you absolutely can't. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, that's why it is just so important. You know, like, and I know it's mental health month. Yes, it is mental health awareness month. We've got to be one with ourselves. Like you said, we got to be happy with ourselves. We got to make sure that all of this is in alignment. You know, we have to make sure that we're at a point where, you know, we know, not only do we know who we are, we know what we want, we know what we're not going to tolerate. And then you have to make sure, like you say, you're comfortable being by yourself. Because if you can't love yourself, who the hell else is going to love you? In the words of RuPaul. Lonnie, and I love me some RuPaul, okay? But you can't. If you can't be by yourself and enjoy your own company, who you think else going to be with you? Like, if you can't stand to be by yourself,
Mm-hmm.
don't nobody else want to be in your company.
Yeah.
Like, come on now. We got to be real with ourselves.
And
You know,
don't get it twisted. You
girl.
know the saying misery loves company. Yeah, another miserable person. Yeah.
Right. Like, let me tell you something. You have some friends that don't, well, let me take that back. You have some people, okay, and acquaintances, because they ain't friends, that only come around when you miserable as hell. Like when you
Mhm.
down in the dumps, when things ain't going your way and you ain't doing nothing but crying and whining. That's the only time they come around. But as
Mhm.
soon as you up, baby, when you up, where are
That's
they? I'm sorry, where are they? I
mm,
can't seem to find them nowhere. Oh, they
mhm.
got things to do. They don't want to talk to you. Oh, because why? You're not miserable. And when you're happy with yourself and happy with the place that you're at in your life, you will see who falls off. Because let me tell you something. Everybody ain't meant to go on that whole journey with you.
That's right.
Sometimes it's meant that as you elevate, people fall off. And
Yeah.
when they fall off, stop trying to reach back and pull them up because guess
Right.
what? They fell off that journey for a reason.
Right.
Don't reach back and allow them to pull you down or pull you off that journey.
Right.
Guess what? You better high step it like a unicorn, like Tiffany Haddish saying, walk through that room baby, like a
Right.
unicorn and high step it and keep it moving. Because
Right. They become
it's not
baggage.
everybody is not meant to be on your journey. And some
That's right.
people that fall off, if you bring them back, they're like anchors around your neck. They will drag
Absolutely.
you to the bottom of the sea, to the depths of the earth, in which there is no return. Don't allow nobody to drag you down no dark hole, especially when you elevating yourself and you keep rising and you keep going and you see the people as you continue to climb that you thought would be there to support you and be like, girl, keep going. I'm proud of you. Those are the same people that you see that don't support,
Mm-hmm.
don't call, don't answer phones. Guess what? Keep it stepping, keep it moving. Because guess
Keep
what?
it moving.
High step it. High step it in that room, honey. You better high step it like Tiffany Haddish said. Become that black unicorn. Okay?
Yes,
Like
absolutely.
it absolutely, if you think of yourself as a queen, you carry yourself as a queen, then guess what? You will only attract royalty. Because guess what? Queens don't deal with pawns. I'm trying to tell you, queens don't deal with pawns and neither do kings. Okay?
Right.
I promise you they don't. They don't, because
Yes.
you're surprised at how many, now, and even with the gold diggers, they're not even called gold diggers anymore. Now it's just sugar babies. Okay. They're just sugar babies because you have some men that don't want that commitment of relationship. They don't want that attachment. They just want, when they go on trips or when they go somewhere, they just want to have somebody cute on their arm. And it works. And I feel like if you are in that position and you feel like that's what you want, go after it, say what you want, and forget everybody else. Baby, you gotta get your bag, however you gotta get your bag. Okay?
Read that. What Jeannie?
He said, never mind gold diggers. People aren't dealing with high maintenance people anymore. You got that right, honey. I have girlfriends who wonder why they aren't attracting men. Well, I'll tell you, you cost too much. Yes, honey.
And you know
Yes.
what? And those women that Jeannie say they cost too much, they will end up attracting the men that can afford their cost. So that is the laws of attraction. When it matches up, people can say, "Oh, they don't do anything. They, look at all they do is go shopping and they dripping in diamonds." That's
But
what
guess
that man
what?
wants. That's
Guess
what he
what?
wants. You
That
know,
man wants to spend that money to drip her in diamonds.
right? That's
That
what
man
he
wants to
wants.
spend that money on them $800 Louis bags. Because
Right.
guess what? That's what he wants
That's what
to
he wants.
do.
You
Because
know,
he don't have to worry about no commitment, no relationship. If he decide tomorrow he want another sugar baby, guess what?
right,
I bet you he got another $800 Louis bag waiting on in the closet. Because
right.
that's what he wants
And
to
you
do.
know what? He'll send her on her way. And 9 times out of 10, she got the phone number, addresses that have fostered relationships with other rich men that's in his circle. So
Baby, bye.
she will continue to sell herself out
Let me tell you.
because that's what she wants.
Let me tell you.
And hey, that's what she
If
wants.
if a
Hey,
woman
do you, boo?
decides she wants to sell anything that she owns, okay, that is her choice. Because at the end of the day, it is her body, her
Her.
mind, her choice.
Mhm.
And who are we to say anything different? Because let me tell you
Mhm.
something, baby, if this size was about 4 or 5 sizes much smaller, baby, baby, we be flipping it around.
We say, and
Baby,
hey, and 40 something is still young.
I'm trying to tell you, baby, bye. It's all about a woman's choice. And I
A
want you to
choice, yes.
stop being afraid of what somebody else thinks because of what we want. Or, honey, Yvette says, I know women that wish like hell I was a guy. I hear it every day, all day. You got to treat a woman like a woman and know when to be that friend. Bobby says, those queens know how to dress, do makeup. You better work. Yes. Nita says, there will never be people of all like. You're going to have naysayers. It's life. Joe says, if you got haters, that means you doing something right. Hi, Tammy. Good morning. Tammy says, I've learned to be a fact. People will fall off when you're doing good because their negativity becomes mute. Absolutely. Like, let's see what else some other people are saying here. Yvette says, when it's up, then it's up. Get it, Yvette. Tammy says, so-called friends leave when hard times hit. And Bobby says, one of my favorite lines in the song is, I'm walking in victory, living life without apology. It's not wrong, dear. I belong here. So you might as well get used to me. Donnie McClurkin, I'm walking. Absolutely. Neela says, submission. They've been known to require of women. You have to be that man that lends that woman to submit. Yeah. Yeah. Yvette says, right, Joan, she can be bought. You're sure considered a trick.
Yep, you know what? And that woman that's considered a trick, that's everybody else's name for her. A
Right.
trick. But she don't care what you think. She don't care what you call her. She don't care if you call her whore, prostitute,
Hook,
trick, whatever name
hookaholic,
you give her, or whatever name everybody else calls her, she don't care. She don't care. She literally don't care.
but here's the funny part. Here is like the silent trick to it though. What people don't realize is when you in relationships, you tricking anyway when you in relationships. Because guess what? Relationships sometimes are quid pro quo.
Quote.
Are you tricking in your relationship at some point because you doing something that you know, whatever you doing, something is gonna be reciprocated from the person that you dating. So, baby, let me tell you something. At some point, we was all tricks. We was all tricks at some point, our parents included. So, Tammy says, baby, when you get up, you have to let people go. So bye bye, baby. Bobby says, Sapphire, stop by. Yvette says he considered the trick. Joe, not her, not alone.
Well, I'm of a particular age, so I try to pick up on this language that
Baby.
young people have out there, and sometimes I get it twisted around. So I'm sure you'll forgive. I'm sure. You know how your grandma don't. It's like grandma don't know nothing. Oh yes, she do.
Grandma did the tricks up them sleeves, baby, because she didn't keep granddaddy all them years.
Hello.
She didn't keep him all them years sitting in that chair reading that book.
Mhm.
I promise you she did. Okay. Grandma
Promise.
had the trick. And back then, wigs was popular, so grandma had them wigs popping.
Yep.
I'm trying to tell you.
Yep.
But you know what? If like, share, and subscribe, hit the thumbs up, hit the hearts. And you know what? This has been an amazing day. And if anybody else has submissions, has letters, has, questions that they want us to answer, or if like how I got the letter in my DMs, send me a private message, DM me if you have a situation you want us to talk about, or you have something that you want people's opinions on. Please feel free to personal message me, direct message me, and I promise you, we will get these opinions, comments, commentary, because baby, we keep it 100 on here, okay? And I promise you, you will get the answers that you need, okay? So
And disclaimer, I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a counselor, but I've been here long enough to know a little something, something.
in other words, what she's saying is she's properly seasoned. That's what we call it. She's properly seasoned. Huh?
Yes, darling. Yes, I am.
Yeah, honey. Like it
Yep,
just
this has been fun, fun, fun.
absolutely has, and so I absolutely just thank you all for joining us today because, I was like, okay, we'll see, submission letter. Okay, honey,
And I'll
this
be
is what
back
I
from
call the
time to
platinum
time.
letter edition. Yes, this was a platinum letter edition. Yes, Yvette said she is Dr. Love. Come on now, Dr. Love. Bobby said she's not a doctor, but she plays one on TV. Yes, come
On
through.
YouTube.
Come on, come through, y'all. Like, oh my goodness. Ivory said we cutting up, ain't we?
Yeah, I will
We
put my cash app up.
girl, I know, right? I forgot to put the cash app up there. It's
I
up there
know.
somewhere. It's up there somewhere, honey. But I'm just enjoying the fact that having you all here, just engaging with us and enjoying the conversation today. And we really have got to get to a point where, as women, we are, as even men too, be comfortable in asking for what it is that we need from a relationship. Like, in all seriousness, we really have to do better about asking what we need in our relationships, because if we don't, then we find ourselves in situations like this, and it's unfortunate, the end result of that situation. But if you simply keep those lines of communication open, you've got to tell them what you need, what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you feel you're
Right.
missing, and if you don't do that, that's where it leaves room, or that door open, for things like this to happen. And if you know for yourself that you're not giving what you were giving in the beginning, hey, look at yourself and be like, why am I not giving it? Because the same thing you did to get that person, let me tell you a little secret, come a little closer. You got to keep doing it. You can't expect to get somebody doing dinners and taking them out places and doing the little things, and then all of a sudden now you're in a relationship or now you're married. No more flowers, no more dinners, no more baths, no more foot rubs. Like, you be like, well, what the hell? Mm, I want that back. I need that. Like, you gotta do whatever it is you got that part. However you got that person, you have to keep that up, honey. So let me tell you something. Don't start nothing you don't plan to continue. Point blank. Period. Don't start nothing you don't plan to continue. Because I guarantee you, it is going to be an expectation in whatever relationship that you are on or that you're in. You absolutely.
Uh-oh.
Um,
Okay. Put your cash app back up because I thought it was going to be both of our cash apps. That was an honest mistake. I
It's
promise.
okay.
Okay,
It's
here we
okay.
go.
Okay, we're gonna put it back up there. There we go.
That's
Okay.
okay. That's okay. It'll be all right.
We're gonna move up.
I'm
We're
over
gonna
here trying to work the buttons and
get
working them
this.
wrong.
See, we're gonna get Joan. we gonna get Joan. We gonna get Joan.
I
It's
don't
okay.
know.
She gonna get
Look,
it.
it's like help the elderly out.
Not the elderly. I
Look,
cannot.
look,
Not the
you know the
elderly.
elderly's on a fixed income and all that.
See. Just because
I
you
don't know
qualify
how to
for
work it,
discount.
so it's
Just because
okay.
you qualify for
It's
discounts, ma'am, don't
okay.
mean you elderly. Does not mean you are elderly. Okay. Joe says on both ends, and Tammy says consistently pleasing and upgrading. Absolutely. You cannot, please, if you find that whatever you are in is not working for you, if it's no longer healthy for you, in that before you decide to
Right.
go slide into somebody else's DMs or start texting
Mm-hmm.
or calling somebody else. Please end that. Because in the
Mm-hmm.
society that we live in, unfortunately, people don't fight with their fists. Okay.
Yeah.
And
And that's the best advice. When you end a relationship, don't pop off and go right on into another
right,
relationship.
no, don't slide
Even
in
if you talking
somebody's
to
DMs and
Yeah, even if you're talking to somebody on the side and you're thinking about, seriously in the relationship that you're in, keep that side relationship also at a distance. Don't just go hop off in it because you haven't healed yet. Your
Nope.
wounds are still fresh, whatever those wounds are. So don't just jump off. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Girl,
I'm going to
no.
blame it on the technology.
Absolutely, but you know what? It's absolutely true though. And then a lot of times is because of those side relationships that the relationship you in is over. Because
Yeah.
you're talking to somebody else about wanting them and what you want to do to them and what you want them to do to you, instead of telling the person you with what they need to be doing to you and what you want to do. Like I'm just saying,
it's, yeah,
okay?
it's like you better get on the good foot because my other foot is on the way out the door.
The locksmith has been called. Okay,
Hmm.
the locks are about to be changed. Get your belongings and exit the building.
See you. Wouldn't want to be you.
Like Beyonce say, to the left, everything you own in a box to the left. Girl, bye. It's already
Yep.
outside for you. In the garbage bag
And
right
and
now.
those yep, and those kind of issues and situations or whatever, the older you get, the more mature you are, will become less and less. They will become
Yeah,
less and less. Get to know you.
absolutely.
Take the time, get to
Love
know you.
you.
Mhm. And
Love
always
you.
mentally and physically, darling, get to know yourself. It's a good thing.
Mhm.
It's a good
Yep.
thing.
So absolutely, I thank y'all for joining us today. It was another amazing day. So I'm going to leave you all. Please make sure that you all like, share, and subscribe. Whether
Yes.
it's on Facebook, whether it's on YouTube, give us those thumbs up, give us those hearts. We enjoy spending time with you all. And up, my brother said, make sure you pick a Russell Wilson and not a Future. I know that's right. Absolutely.
I can't wait to meet your brother.
Honey, I'm trying to tell you, he is a hoot. Okay. Because I already have a
I know
topic.
his name.
I already have a topic for my twin to come on here. I already got one. Have a good day, Tammy. So I'm going to leave you all with a positive affirmation as always. And I ask that you all go out and spread your positivity, your light, and your love so that it may ooze from you and spill onto someone else. And that,
Oh yes.
if we can just pay forward every day a random
Hmm.
act of kindness, whether it be
Right.
speaking to someone that you don't know in your office,
Hmm.
randomly speaking to people, if it's just saying hello to someone walking past you,
Yes.
just every day, try to do some sort of random act of kindness so that maybe we can get it to start being paid forward, and just
Hmm.
find that silver lining in your day. Find something that makes you smile, something
Yes.
that gives you joy in each
Mhm.
day. And so I'm going to leave you all with the universe has big plans for me. It's time to claim them. So we are
Absolutely.
going to see you all tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. We love you. We love you. We love
Yes.
you. And as
Mwah.
always, keep spreading that positivity, light, and love. And we will see
Oh
you.
wait, I gotta.
Go on and pop it, girl. Pop it.
Hey,
And
with that serious look on my face because I'm just learning.
don't worry, we'll be having a tutorial class soon because, honey, these fans
I
will be
know.
available. Yes, honey, these
It
will
was
be
lovely seeing everybody again, all the regulars, Neela,
available. Well, we love,
Neela,
I know, right? We love you all, and we will see you all
Yvette,
tomorrow.
everybody. I love you all, and I'll be back soon. Tomorrow, I have an appointment tomorrow morning, so I may be back Thursday, maybe Friday. You know what? Hey, whenever I'm available, I can come by if you want me to. So,
But we enjoyed
it's
you
all
coming by
good.
and sharing your opinion today. It
I
has
enjoy myself.
always been an amazing day. So we will
Okay,
see you
thank you,
all tomorrow
everybody.
morning.